Hi guys, I'm Mrs. Hirschberger. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing some video lessons, the things that I would be taughting you in class. You'll be watching these at home, filling out your notes, maybe completing a little activity, and then walking into class with that information already prepared. So that way we can go ahead and do something a little bit different in class. So today we are going to be starting our Explorers unit. You should have received the paper. The first paper or page in our binder is going to be on motivation, obstacles, and accomplishments. So go ahead and get that paper out if you don't have it out already. Again, like always, everything for this unit is going to be in Schoology. Your notes, your PowerPoint review materials are all there waiting for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So we left off with the American Indians. The American Indians, of course, are in North America using their resources found in their environment. Everything's going great, but new people are about to show up and drama is going to ensue. Those new people are going to be the explorers. Now, explorers are people who travel seeking new discoveries. Often the explorers are going to be hired by European monarchs who are in competition with each other. So let's take a look at this. Today, we're going to be talking about what motivates these people, what stands in their way, and what they accomplish. So here we have our three G's: gold, God, and glory. You may remember this from fourth grade: gold, God, and glory. They're still the same, but we're going to get into a little bit more detail this year. All right, so first we have economic. And again, I want to be very clear with you. We need to write down this information because this is going to be the information that you will need to know for your test. So if it's already written for you, go ahead and highlight it. But if it's blank, go ahead and write this down. All right, so for economic, we obviously know that they are seeking the mineral gold. They're in competition with each other. A lot of the European monarchs are having a war with each other. Wars are very expensive, something we'll discuss a little bit more in class. They need to pay for every gun, every bullet that's fired, every soldier, what they're wearing, what they're eating, all of the horses, the cannon, all of the ships, everything. It's very expensive. They need more gold. In addition to that, they need additional natural resources. Now, yes, gold is a natural resource. It's a mineral. You can dig it out of the ground, and they do, especially in South America. But they also need trees and other things such as fur, meat. People have been living in Europe for thousands of years. They've been burning fires, they've been building buildings. The trees are almost gone. So, when they come to North America and they arrive and they see what the Powhatan and the Iroquois have with all these trees, that's going to be the first thing they start chopping down to ship back to England so that they can make more ships and more homes. Um, because again, every time it's time to cook dinner, you chop down a tree and you burn the wood. In addition to that, they will also be looking for trading opportunities. Same reason that there aren't many trees is the same reason there aren't many animals left. So, fur is going to be something that is going to be very interesting to the explorers. More on the trading a little bit later. Now, the religious aspect here, they are going to be spreading Christianity. This is where our God comes in. Now, admittedly, a lot of these monarchs are very greedy. They're out to get more money for themselves so that they can wage more war and get more territory. And in order to sanction this, or in order to get permission or make it sound better, they will say that they are doing this to spread Christianity. And we'll talk about how they do that later. But it changes it. Instead of just going to North America to get trees and to get gold and to get fur, now they are on a mission from their God. And they're going to spread the word of their God. And it has a different sound to it, makes it more noble. Next, we also have empire. These monarchs are in competition with each other. It is a race. We will see this. There's a race for North and South America. There'll be a race for Africa in the 20th century. And then later in the 20th century, a space race. There's always a competition. This is the one that was called glory in fourth grade. And in sixth grade, we'll be calling it empire. And in high school, this will be called nationalism. Nationalism is kind of like a patriotism, another way to say it. Patriotism usually specific to Americans, but nationalism is basically a pep rally saying we're the best, we're going to get there the fastest, and we're going to get the most. Think of a pinata. It's kind of like that, unfortunately. So let's move on to what stands in their way. And by the way, again, they're doing this. They're all going to North and South America. Once they find it, Columbus, of course, goes. He is Italian. He's hired by Spain to go and make it to Asia. He doesn't. He makes it to the Indies. And when he comes back, people start to realize that there was a successful route. They don't know exactly what that is yet, but they figure it out quick. And then they start sending more people to get land and, of course, those resources we just discussed. Now let's talk about what stands in their way. Now, again, specifically, these are the things that you need to write down. If they're already written for you, please highlight them. The obstacles that stand in their way. The first thing, of course, is going to be poor maps and navigational tools. The maps of North and South America, I'll show you one in just a moment here, are not accurate. They don't have satellite imagery, and everything is an estimation. This will be a problem because if they pack enough food for 8 weeks and it turns into a 16-week journey, they're going to run out of food. That brings us to disease and starvation. If there's not enough water, people can't drink seawater. It will result in a lot of illness and dysentery, cholera, and of course, there's no way to go to a hospital. Now, fear the unknown. The captain who's been hired by a monarch may very well be confident in his journey, but the person who's cooking down in the kitchen, they may not have any education. They might not be even aware that the world is round. They might not be completely convinced. And so when they have these massive storms, you see, I have a picture here of a sea monster, very, very specific in exploration. Some of these people are not entirely convinced that it's a hurricane. The sky gets dark, the winds get high, and then the waves come crashing in the boat, and some boats go down. And some people believe it's a sea monster trying to get them. And so that fear can spread among the people. And of course, the people outnumber the captain, can lead to real problems. And of course, the lack of adequate supplies. They may not be bringing enough guns. They may not be bringing enough food, as we've discussed. They may not be bringing enough clothes, bandages, medicine. And as they are on this journey, they will run out and problems will happen. Now, here's one of those maps that I talked about. You can see that North America, not too accurate. We probably could do a little bit better ourselves. We do see the general outline. This is a later one. This is not one of the earliest ones I could find, but and so we do see a little bit of it carved up. We can see Louisiana, and we can see New Spain down there in the corner. But you can see that the accuracy is not there, and it can again lead to problems in planning for your expedition. Now, what they will accomplish, they are going to exchange goods and ideas. They do trade with the American Indians. More on that in just a moment. There'll be good and bad things exchanged. Will lead to a lot of growth for both sides. They also will improve their navigational tools and maps because they are making this journey so often. They do learn from their mistakes and they do claim territories. So, again, I'm speaking English right now because England claimed the eastern seaboard of North America. Mexico, if we were in Mexico, we'd be speaking Spanish. So that legacy continues on. Now, more on the exchange here. You can kind of see I have a little graphic on the Columbian exchange. You can see that from Europe, they are bringing horses. This will have a strong influence on the American Indians, especially the Lakota. They are bringing disease because these groups of people these humans have not had contact with each other for thousands of years. All of a sudden, the microorganisms inside of us will leap. And just like everyone gets sick when we come back to school, it'll be a similar thing on a larger scale. Pig, sugarcane, various fruits. And then, of course, coming from North America back to Europe, we are going to have tobacco, sweet potatoes, potatoes themselves, things that will actually help Europe in times of famine or great starvation. So by now, you should have your paper complete. There may be an activity for you to complete as well. Please follow your directions or look on Schoology for more information. Again, you can rewatch this video anytime, and we'll be talking about this in class where you will have a warm up and we'll be having a brief discussion.